Oh yeah, we got a show tonight. It's Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. I'm the dude. That's the one. That's the Lester Pipps from the title is me, and the show that you're gonna watch is the show that you're watching right now, which is the show Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. Did I make it all clear? Did it all make sense? Look, we got a great show coming up. We's talking to way later. We's gonna talk to Gustav, a dog named Gustav. If you've been reading the news, you might have an idea about what that might be. We're gonna talk to Wanda, the welder, a lady I don't know, but I'm gonna. And then we're going to bring back we talk to the folks who you met a long time ago, previous episode, the Booksworth brothers, the Zookeepers, Teddie and Eddy. Booksworth, God, I'm excited. But before we can get to the actual show, we got to get to the intro of the show. Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps is the show that you're currently watching. About to start with his amazing guests, and they gonna tell you how to survive out in the apocalypse. This way you won't be dead if anything was to attack humanity and try to end it. So now you gotta show up with your ears and your eyes and watch the show. It's Apocalypse Tips with Lester Pipps. Oh, yeah! It's still that show! Well, okay. Listen, if you watching the show, you're thinking, I don't need to be in the comments. This guy's gonna run the show all himself. No, get in the comments. Talk to us. We wanna engage with you. That's the key word. You was probably wondering, though, who the heck this guy? Why the heck he giving Apocalypse Tips? Should I be listening to him? Are they gonna lead me astray? Okay, no, they not. These are going to be good tips for you because prior to all these COVIDs being up in the air, I was the world's first and foremost travel and doomsday prep lecturer. Now, some people would say first and foremost is a synonym of only, and those people might be right, but that's not the point. The point is I know how to survive apocalypses, and I'm trying to tell y'all how to do it. Obviously, there's a big one with all them COVIDs up in the air, trying to get inside your brain, eat it out from the inside in the bad way, not the good way. So, of course, we got to worry about that. But there's so many other apocalypses to worry about. And me and my guests, we're going to talk about them. I already told you about all the fantastic guests we got coming up. We're going to talk to them a bit later. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to do the thing that my producer said I have to always do, which is tell you what day it is, okay? Because not everybody knows what day it is when they're watching a show. Now, today is, of course, February 25th, which, as everybody knows, is National Chili Day. Okay, now, I don't know about you Ohioans or whatever. They celebrate probably by sticking spaghetti underneath it or whatever, eating it the Cincinnati style. But here in New Orleans, which technically I'm not in New Orleans, I'm in Australia. It's a whole thing. But my show's about Louisiana, so you don't need I can't tell you the whole backstory of the show in one episode, But what we're going to talk about now is how things are in Louisiana on National Chili Day. And I'll tell you what, in New Orleans, everybody is legally required to eat chili or feed somebody else chili. That's how we celebrate this day. In Baton Rouge, every grocery store gets overrun with people fighting to buy the best chives. So you got to really if you're going to have a good National Chili Day, you plan ahead. You get your chives beforehand. And of course, statewide, National Chili Day is the only day of the year no one will knife you for calling their gumbo chili. So don't do that another day, but today you can. Good for you. Now, of course, this show's not just about Louisiana. This show's about the apocalypses. And people always ask me questions about how the apocalypses is going to go, what we planning for. Oh, Ice Cream Cone is here in the chat. Hey, Ice Cream Cone. COVID is in the Minecraft world. That's a great question. Yeah, COVID is in the Minecraft world now. Well, that's a reference to my background today, which is, of course, a bunker that is made out of Minecraft. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. I believe each and every block in here is its own mine. But that's because I don't want you to get jealous of the real bunker that's behind me. I don't want you to see it and be like, I could never have that. I want you to see a bunker you could really have. Now, this one, of course, you could only have if you play Minecraft. But yes, Ice Cream Cone, COVID is there. Anyway, I was talking about the apocalypse questions that I got from folks over the course of the week. Now, a user on Instagram named J.O. No Simps asked me, should I freeze my eggs? I just bought a fresh dozen. What? Okay, now, it could be the case that they're talking about eggs from a uterus, in which case I'm not it's not my role in life to advise you on whether or not to freeze your eggs. That's you should go to a doctor about that. But if you're talking about a dozen eggs you bought at a grocery store, yeah, freeze them. User Snoopy Dog asks, Xbox Live is down, ? And they actually typed out the word ? Which again, I feel like there's been some miscommunication. Like my Instagram and Twitter at Lester Pipps, that's not Xbox Live support. So I don't know how I'm supposed to help you. But I guess if you consider this an apocalypse, I would say maybe just like go for a jog. Potato Pothead asks, how much Viagra will the U.S. need if the Washington Monument falls down? Okay. I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all this. The place you go for serious apocalypse tips is not a place to go writing dick jokes. All right? So stop it with that. But the answer is a lot. Because you got to make, if you're trying to build a Washington Monument out of just Viagra tablets, like that's so many. That's so many. So I guess stock up on those too. Ice Cream Cone asks, how many ring lights does one need for the perfect bunker? Oh, great question. Okay, so in my opinion, if you're going to be streaming out advice about how other folks should survive an apocalypse, you got to have at least 2 because that's how many I have. I do recommend 3 though, because right now over here is a little bit darker than over here, you know? Great question though. Babyface Hooks says dick jokes are pretty important for the apocalypse. And you know, I'll agree with that. I think levity is something that we need in these trying times, which is why sometimes you'll find that this show is funny. All right, well, let's get to the guests. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about these guests, okay? You saw them a while back when they had competing zoos that were both kind of just like them watching some animals on TV. And they said that they wanted to come back on and give us an update on how they've been living. So I'm very excited to welcome Eddy and Teddie Booksworth, the zookeepers. Eddy and Teddie, welcome to the show, guys. How are you?
Lester, happy Chili Day, Lester.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Ooh, that doesn't work. I got you.
Not quite.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Happy Chili Day to you. I hope you're celebrating.
Thank you. Yeah, well, traditionally we always do every year.
Yeah.
And, we got chilies everywhere, and we've been eating chili. It's a little chilly in here, actually. It's kind of cold.
No, that's great.
I
donated. You gotta keep the volume down.
I donated to Chili's, the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
You donated a Chili's?
2 Chili's.
Oh, okay.
But
and when you donated,
I donated 8 Chili's. Yes,
you did. Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know that one.
Yeah. Well,
you're so generous.
This year, a lot of people are in need, and I thought that this was really the way I could give back.
I mean, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you did that. Whoever needs a Chili's, one of you will probably be at a Chili's, either eating or giving out food.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
Is that how that works? When you donate a Chili's, are you giving the food individually?
Look, for me, I give it to the organization, and the organization does what they're going to do with it. I gave. That's where I am.
Well, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Now, Lester, you might be wondering why we're suddenly getting along so well.
I was thinking that. I was going to ask because last time you two were a little bit at each other's throats.
Yeah, so
a little.
So last time we had competing underground zoos. Bunker zoos.
Yes, within our bunker, which we shared, but we had a divide. We were very competitive about it.
Mm-hmm.
I, of course, went with what I thought was maybe a little bit I want to say a smarter way.
Elevated,
yes. So my animals were all on something at a given time.
Yeah, they sure were.
Your
animals were high as hell.
Yeah, and they were sleepy. They were sleepy was the aim. And I feel like I did it in a pure way, but I've recognized the error of my ways, and that wasn't the way I approached animal care was wrong.
And my zoo was sort of going the exact opposite way in that I injected my animals with what I called like jiggle juice because they would constantly jiggle around. The street name, it was bath salts for the most part.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just kind of like
your animals were high as hell too. It's just in opposite ways.
Oh yeah, they were just dancing, and I haven't seen the error of my ways. I still support that.
Yeah, and I guess I should also say that's just the water here is all the stuff that I was putting into my animals. It's just
exactly.
But we don't inject it. I don't inject anything. That's gone.
Okay.
So if that
well, that's good. I gotta ask you guys. I mean, normally I try when I see my guests have something strange in their appearance, I think to myself, don't ask that. But y'all got scabs and scars and bruises and bumps, and you covered in like bandages. It seems like.
Okay, so
did y'all fight each other?
It's noticeable because I thought
I did makeup before this. Well, I mean, our circumstances have kind of changed. That's
slightly a little
bit different than they were last time.
Yeah.
So you guys are probably familiar with there was a snowstorm last week in large stretches of the United States.
And we live in large stretches of the United States.
Unfortunately, we live in large stretches of the United States. And
so
when things heated back up this week, everything sort of does what snow or whatever the substance that fell from the sky that may or may not be snow, could be Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's right.
Melted.
It melted. And so I don't know if you've heard of frozen pipes.
Oh, you haven't seen that TikTok?
There's a TikTok about Bill Gates falling from the sky.
That Bill Gates brought in fake snow and they try to burn a snowball with a lighter, and they are convinced that they have proved how science works. Anyway.
Yeah. And so through this, I will say a week ago, I didn't quite see the error of my ways, but this storm brought about maybe a miracle in our lives.
Huh.
We found, so pipes burst, and all of a sudden our bunker underground started filling up with water. And we thought, we pivoted basically.
Well, I mean, my first thought is my shoes are going to get wet.
Yeah. And that was a big worry. You came in with a wrench,
which didn't help the shoes at all.
No. And we were fighting still. And so a lot of, we didn't get along, and so a lot of problems weren't solved. If you want to call them problems, now it's hard to call it a problem.
It's hard to call it a problem.
I couldn't have made life better for us right now. Like, they find all the money in the world.
Really? Well,
my situation is the best there is.
Okay, well, I love this build up for it, but I gotta know what is your situation now?
Everything flooded, and all of our animals are swimming now.
Okay.
As you can see on the security cam here,
I was wondering about at Waddles Barkley asked if it was Blue Planet, but I was thinking to myself, no, that seems like it's real live animals swimming in a pool.
Oh yeah, this is our security footage from various areas in the park. You can see that's a white tiger swimming underground. These animals have been swimming since 7 days ago or so.
Yeah, whatever.
And they love it.
They love it.
They love it. They're having so much fun.
Wow. Well, at least you're feeding them. I mean, that's good.
We don't do anything. That's the thing. We've let nature. This is the main thing that I think we've learned.
We agree on this.
Is instead of all these toxins, do you know about these like toxins?
I've heard about toxins. Yeah.
Okay, so you know.
Instead of all these toxins that we're injecting into animals, why don't we let nature take its course?
Let nature take its course.
Let flooding happen. Stop feeding them and let them find food.
Now, I will say, whenever we tried to intervene, we tried to be God and feed the animals ourselves or take them to a dry place, they scratched us and they attacked us. And so, it looks...
Because we weren't letting animals do what they naturally want to do.
That's right.
Which is run away from
a constant state of swimming.
Yes, always swimming.
No one's drowning here.
So I'm sorry. You say you weren't letting the animals do what they want to do, which was swim? The animals wanted to swim?
Oh, yeah.
Clearly. I mean, they're so happy right now.
They do seem to be having a good time. I mean, if anybody was to be watching Blue Planet and thinking those animals are having a bad time, they'd be crazy. And this looks a lot like Blue Planet. Obviously, it's not that, but it looks a lot like it. They're having a good time. We
have been in contact with the BBC people, and they have told us to stop calling them at home.
Yeah.
But once we find their office number, we're gonna get some of those cameras.
And I cannot wait for that day because we have so much to the table. I think
Attenborough's still alive, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I don't keep track as much.
Yeah.
Because for one, I've been very busy with
the swimming animals,
managing these swimming animals.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's one thing where, the water, of course, is largely that they're swimming in is a lot of the drugs that we had sort of stockpiled for them before over a week ago.
And I do want to tell future visitors of our zoo here.
Oh, yeah.
You might be thinking, oh, is this like a SeaWorld type thing where suddenly you've got a shamu and you've got a dolphin, you got a flipper in there?
Oh, no.
No, it's all the animals you loved from the old zoo.
That is animal cruelty.
Have you seen Blackfish?
That is, yeah. No, that for sure is.
I haven't seen it, but
this seems. You haven't seen it. Okay.
No, but I gotta assume.
Blackfish, I imagine they would have this clip of you explaining what you've done in the Blackfish documentary about what's happened here. You know what I mean?
What, talking about how, horses like to swim, bears like to swim, elephants like to swim, rhinos like to swim, goats Not so much.
Ferrets,
We've learned
maybe.
that we took a few of these are trial and error, which I think people don't even consider with zoos, like how difficult the trial and error process is.
Yeah, I'll say this for me. I certainly hadn't considered zoos as like a time for trial and error. I thought zoos were like pretty tried and true. Like you put the animal in the cage, you ruin its life, and you let kids learn about animals. And then you never feel remorse, unfortunately.
You're not wrong. That's how it's been for decades.
We don't.
But we're innovators. You know what I mean? And innovation only comes about with actually trying and putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, no more cages. They are
no
free,
more cages.
floating.
They are completely free.
They are swimming through the bunker and just loving life, loving it, and still a lot of the drugs in here. There's only so much to be done, and once again, the more we try to intervene and mess up their lives, the more they attack us, and so
because we're messing with nature.
And so that part, we just. And I want to bring up another thing. A lot of these creatures have never seen large bodies of water before, and this. So imagine being in that kind of situation. Like if you're a person who's never seen the ocean.
Yeah.
That'd
be terrifying. Yeah. That'd be horrifying. Absolutely. Yeah.
Imagine living in a world where you've never once heard "Hey Soul Sister" by Train.
That's right.
And then one day it comes on, and suddenly your whole perspective about what music and what life can be is altered.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to these animals right now as they've swam for about 7 days straight.
Yeah. And nonstop. Like there's no foothold for them. Yeah.
I mean, that makes so much sense. It's like they're swimming around in a drop of Jupiter or something. Now, I do have a question from my chat here, which that one guy, Connor something, says, Lester, what's happening? To which I say, hey, what's happening?
I don't have an answer for that.
That one was directed to me.
Unfortunately, I don't have an answer
be directed to you.
Okay, I was going to say I did have an answer, but we can move on.
Oh, wait, no, I'm curious. What is it?
Yeah, so my name isn't Lester. Common misconception.
That's the confusion.
So,
no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But thank you. Thank you for the question.
And your name is Eddy, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Sorry, Theodore. Theodore is my name.
You're Teddie. Right.
He's Teddie. I'm Eddie. We get confused with our own names sometimes.
We're so close. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right
that's,
now,
that's how brotherhood is,
Yes.
And we haven't interacted with a ton of people since the last time we've talked because we've been working on the zoo stuff.
Not other people, no.
And so it's kind of
And it's mostly been the animals that I talk to, by which I mean before 7 days ago, I was reading books about animals.
And most of the animals are named Eddy or Teddie, which just adds to the confusion. That was maybe a poor decision. Yeah.
That's definitely going to confuse your lives a little bit.
I've never forgotten an animal's name, though.
That is true. Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's nice. Just each other's. That's great. Now, and your own. Now, that one guy kind of something had a question for you, which is, have we discussed the Christmas tree yet? It's almost March.
Well, we're just trying to be ready whenever it comes.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not. There are a lot of things in life that aren't predictable. And
that's true.
We thought, we knew when Chili Day was. There are other holidays that kind of just jump out at you.
Well, I was just gonna say,
are your animals having a race right now?
Oh, this is one of our huge attractions at our zoo is the animal race. And as you can see, we've got an elephant and a gorilla with a shark.
We don't know how the shark got in.
I feel like the shark was an unfair addition, but that's what the people wanted. Our attendees wanted the shark to be involved. So
that makes sense. Yeah, because it is like a swimming pool with like lap lanes.
Yeah.
And that shark is not far enough ahead of the gorilla and the elephant. I'll tell you that right now.
He's taking his time. He knows that he can just kind of coast.
It's a tortoise and the hare situation. Yeah.
But anyway, you were saying the Christmas tree. I mean, you were saying that like some things in life aren't predictable, but I would say that one thing that is Christmas happens December 25th.
Well, I just wanted to say, you say it's not Christmas time, except it was snowing last week.
It was snowing just last week.
So
that's a good point.
I mean, yeah, of course, I put my Christmas tree up after Christmas, or down after Christmas, but
okay.
When snow starts falling, you put it back up.
Yeah, we're not stupid.
Yeah,
right. No, I would never say that you were. Yeah.
Okay, so. Just heavily implied it. I get because the Christmas tree. It was snowing,
and we don't even celebrate
Christmas.
There's
snow coming down. The Christmas tree goes up. I get it.
Yeah, we don't celebrate Christmas.
Go up. I know.
Our biggest holiday is Chili Day.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the only. I'm nothing else is coming up.
A tree-based holiday besides Christmas or Chili Day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's Arbor Day, but who cares?
Yeah, and that's not even really a day because that's more of a lifestyle. Like you either care about the earth and nature like we do, or you don't.
Like some of our critics don't.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? You got critics who don't care about.
Ooh, these haters.
We've done some reviews online, and
hate these haters.
And I gotta say, I actually love my haters. I know we differ on that stance.
You always say you love your haters and they energize you,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, I say, well, they're saying mean things, so that doesn't make me feel good, and so it doesn't energize me, and I don't love them because I don't really know them.
Yeah. See, for me, I'll reach out to them. We're pen pals. Yeah. For my haters, we actually we sometimes become romantic, and that's just guys, some people just have their type, and for some people it's a bad boy, whatever. For me, it's my haters.
Yeah,
that's who I'm attracted to on a physical level.
Now, I wish we had time to get into what it means that the people you like the most are the people who like you the least, but we don't have time for that, unfortunately. We do have to get to my next guest. But before we do, I have a couple of questions coming in to me through my publicist at Ezra Potter on Instagram, at Ezra Potter on Twitter. And this first one's coming to me from Dr. London Smith, who also referenced at Jock Pod. And looking at his picture, he looks kind of like Teddie if you didn't have scabs and scars and scrapes and cuts and bandages on your face. I would say that you look kind of like Dr. London Smith.
Okay, that's a doctor. Okay, that's I usually function as the medic here, unless well, I guess either of us would.
Well,
if we
before we started letting nature take its course.
Before nature, yes.
Which is the ultimate medicine is nature.
Nature.
I suppose that makes sense. He asks, how do you deal with the loss of a pet? Which here, I'll take this one first. For me. If I ever lose a pet, what I do is I try to find it. That's just me. What about you?
We usually just let the other animals take care of it because if the pet's passed away, that's going to be food for many of the other animals in this situation.
I would wish the same for if I were a pet, then I would want
you want your haters to eat.
I want my haters to eat me, please.
Yeah.
Wow.
Please.
Yeah, again with the love for the haters, I get it, but hey, that's good for you. Now, my other question is coming to me from at Cam Alex on who also referenced at Jock Pod, and I gotta say, he looks kind of like Eddy. He looks exactly like you, with the same cuts and bruises and everything.
I would highly doubt that because I'm one of a kind.
Oh, and I would also say Jock Podcast is probably the
oh, did I get that wrong?
This is just
no.
It's one of those things that just these terms of phrases that get lost in time.
And I do want to say, if I'm not one of a kind, I think maybe we should find this guy, and set him free in the pool a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let him
swim with the animals,
with our friends.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to know. I've heard of yellow snow, but what about brown? Still okay to eat? Let me take this one first.
Okay.
If that brown is chocolate, wash it down. If that brown is not, it's probably poop. So get away.
I would say
we dealt with this a lot.
I would say if it's brown, go to town.
Yeah, brown, go to town.
That sounds good too. Yeah.
If it's another color, let's see. If it's purple, that's a royal color. You'll want to eat that.
Well, I was going to say, I think maybe eating it is sort of a waste of the resource.
That's true.
You find something brown on the ground, that can be a shoe, that can be a glove.
That's true, because it's a solid matter. Yeah,
you can use that as a candle. You can use that as a gift for your sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all
your
options.
Haters.
Well, these are all options that I think might be a better use of the brown thing you found on the ground.
It's a delicacy, though. I think we can agree on that.
Oh, yeah, it tastes wonderful.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure that helped Cam Alex and Dr. London Smith. Both those questions got answered. Now, we do have to get to my next guest, but really, really quick. That one guy commented something, says, wait, have they been saying haters or gators? And let me just say, I'm pretty sure they've been saying haters. Right?
Yes.
They're kind of one and the same.
It's hard to distinguish at this point.
Yeah.
At first, I would agree with you wholeheartedly, but we have had a a lot of issues with gators as well.
Which you'd think they would be the happiest about this situation.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you've introduced so many different competitors into their environment, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, we got to get to my next guest.
That's fair.
So let's do that. My next guest, I am so excited to talk to them. I don't know them well at all. Haven't talked to them before, but I'm about to. Their name's Wanda the Welder, and here they are. Wanda, welcome to the show.
Hello, Lister.
Hey, Wanda, how are you?
I'm just, I'm doing. Just sitting here. I was very excited to come visit with you.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you. Now, Wanda, this is Eddy and Teddie Booksworth. They are Zookeeper.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, gentlemen. Yes.
They are Zookeepers, and you are a welder. Tell me a little bit about that.
I just like to put things together. I like to put things together and bond them for life, for eternity, really. Just putting things together and keeping them together, just holding them tight, holding them real tight with sometimes a good TIG weld or a good arc weld, or sometimes, you gotta keep your fire just, ever so close to your heart,
Oh yeah, I mean, it seems like you got that welding torch real close to your heart right now.
I mean, you just gotta keep one around, just in case you need to put something together and you need to hold it tight real quick.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, I don't often have fire pointed at me like that, so I'm sorry I reacted poorly. Yeah, but
we all keep our bunkers different. I like to keep mine full of weapons, but you do yours.
Yeah. I keep mine full of Popeyes, Louisiana Kitchen spicy chicken strips, of course. But I see behind you there's katanas, there's that fire torch.
Oh well, yes.
I mean,
and I do. This is my newest edition. Yeah, it's a real blade. Yeah. It's just a real pretty one.
One more time. I made you bigger on the screen.
Yeah. It's just a real pretty blade, like so.
What? No.
Yep.
That looks like it was made for like a video game hero.
Well, it's like a Game of Thrones sort of dagger,
Yeah, that's like the.
You just stick somebody, but pretty like.
I mean, listen, I understand being prepared for sure, but have you ever had to use any of your weapons?
Well, I don't often put myself in situations where I'm gonna have to use them, but if I did ever have to use them, I would. Is what I'm saying. Wow. But I don't. I'm a lucky woman. I've been able to live a lot of years, holed up in my bunker. I like to go from place to place, and you kind of tucked away. So I haven't had to really. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I do love my fighting tools.
Gotcha. So if I was to categorize you into I think there's 3 types of weapon owners. 1, psychopaths. That's the worst one. 2, collectors, and 3, people who just kind of have stuff. So I'm thinking you're more a collector than person who kind of has stuff.
I mean, I'm a collector. I like a fine thing, but sometimes you just gotta have a couple katanas lying around. It's good to just have a couple. When you have a couple stuff like this right in the front door, people know how to treat you.
With like a little bit of fear. Yeah,
just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit of fear is what you want. That's how you know that people, they're going to treat you right.
Sure. Well, I have a question for you in the chat already from Waddles Barkley, who asked, "Does this also work for relationships?"
Which is my hope. That's I'm wanting to get out now that what I've noticed about the apocalypse is there's lots of people that are lonely.
Sure.
And I'm thinking, little old Wanda got some thoughts in her head, and I was thinking I could help people not be lonely, and find people, because I'm good at putting things together. See,
sure,
I'm good at putting them together and keeping them together and hold them together for a long time. So I thought, I could help people do that with each other and not just metal.
Well, that makes so much sense. So, are you working on an apocalyptic dating app?
Well, so far I thought that I would just do the online stream circuit, as it were. And so I'm visiting with hosts such as yourself.
Oh, sure.
And I'm trying to just make make this I'm evangelizing my wares, as it were.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You're looking for somebody to connect with for yourself, rather
Or
than
to
housing
help other
together.
people. I mean, I'm open. Wanda is open.
Okay, you want to be involved in finding love, whether it's for you or for somebody else. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, that's so
you like a
altruistic.
little matchmaker service. Like I'm just gonna put people together.
Well, you got one ready. Waddles Barkley says, "Sign me up."
All right. See,
is that a
now
hater?
my first question is, does Waddles have some weapons?
I don't know. Waddles in the chat. Answer that if you want to. Eddy. Sorry, Teddie. What did you say?
Well, I was asking, is he a hater? Like, because it's really haters that I'm aiming for my romantic life. I don't know if you're an app specifically for that you're working on.
I think in your situation, instead of a weapon, what you are looking for is more like a bear trap.
Okay.
And if
For
the bear
people.
trap, if it doesn't, yes, exactly, for people. But if it doesn't trap your hater that you're looking for, then it might trap you. And then the first person you got to fall in love with is yourself.
Oh,
that's true.
After you've trapped them in this bear trap, how big is the crate that you put them into?
Well, I mean, they have crates in, I don't know if you've heard of this Container Store, but they have crates online that you can order through the internet. And they offer them in a variety of sizes.
Okay. And so whenever they're captured in the bear trap, and I don't want that, it's just a catch and release thing, right?
Oh, I mean, then it's up to you. You see, at this point now, my favorite part of after you catch someone is the communication. It's catch, communicate, and then hopefully you don't have COVID.
Okay.
Oh,
that's the three steps.
That makes sense.
C's.
Yeah. Step 1, catch. Step 2, communicate. Step 3,
so
COVID. Hope you don't got it.
Yeah. So when you're in the step 2 and you're communicating, that's when you and your hater, as in your situation, when you get to look deep into each other's eyes and you just have a longing sort of connection, and then they ask you if they're ever going to see their loved ones again.
What?
And you say, I don't know. How are you feeling about me now? And see, then you can build a whole relationship like that, is what I'm saying.
Boy.
I can really see that working out.
And I don't think you're opposed to letting your haters free into the pool.
Oh, no. Hey.
Oh, no.
We have this attraction that's, by the way, everyone, Wanda, you should come. It's so nice here. We have the best attraction, and you are allowed, and this is one of those things that, you go to other countries and you pay top dollar for it, but we will let you swim with the animals. Easy.
I would be delighted.
Yes.
I would love to. I saw the little lap pool you guys had, and I thought, ooh, wouldn't I love to put my one piece on and get in there?
Oh, it's so great here, and you can actually see in the background here, like those are real visitors here. And
wow!
That's one of our attractions here, and it's to call it an attraction. That's just the whatever the label, but of course they are our best friends. Really.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, I'm signing you up, and you're going to be my first excursion when I get out.
Wow.
Yes, that's what we want to hear.
That's
it's because we're trying to give back through this, and I can't imagine that there'll be any problems either with the whole idea of catching my hater in a bear trap, and I realized anyone I catch in a bear trap could become a hater. So there's another.
I imagine if you catch someone in a bear trap, they're gonna hate you. Yeah. I think that's gonna definitely get you around that particular part of the situation.
Everyone's a winner, really.
It's a
win-win in the bear trap. I think
it's a win-win. I'm telling you, no. Lester, have you considered? Lester, are you on the market? Are you trying? Are you single and mingling?
I just got Australian Weddinged a couple of episodes ago.
Okay, all right. Well, I am not trying to interfere in anyone's existing status. I'm not a home wrecker.
Well,
I'm not a house wrecker. I'm not an apartment wrecker.
Awesome.
I'm not a condominium wrecker.
Smart.
I do not wreck domestic engagements of any sort.
Good. Well then I don't need your services, but I mean, excuse me. I think sounds like I've got 2 different guests that are so altruistic. They're trying to give back in different ways. 3 different even. Teddie's the one who said it, but Eddy and Teddie are together now. So, everybody's trying to give back to the community in different ways, and I appreciate that about it. I do have to say, the way, Wanda, that you described looking into the eyes of the person in the bear trap made me think like, okay, I know I put Wanda in category 2, person who has weapons because they're a collector, but I'm thinking maybe Wanda got to bump up into category 1 psychopath.
Oh, little bump up. Little bump up never hurt nobody.
Well, no, that's not a positive bump up. I'll tell you that.
I feel like you just promoted me.
Are you flirting? Wow.
I mean, it feels like it.
Oh, no, that's not my intention. The thing that I'm doing right now is describing that I'm scared of you, which if you think that's flirting, then, I mean, I guess we know what you're into, but...
Haters, yeah.
I suppose you two have so much in common you could never get together because you seem to like each other.
I mean, I do like it when I see somebody just have a bunch of fear right behind their eyes, but that's that nothing gets me going like that.
Once again,
but,
you would love our zoo. It's
I can't wait.
Oh, it's so, and like, yeah, the look in people's eyes, it's a thrill is what I see in their eyes.
Oh, I love thrill seeking.
Well, that's great. Now that one guy, Connor something in the chat, is seeking a thrill of his own, which is to get a specific question answered. He's dying to know what's in Miss Wanda's vinyl collection on the shelves behind her.
It's mostly records.
Okay, that's up.
That's so. I was wondering too, but now I understand.
Yeah, it's but mostly records. Yeah.
Is it music?
Oh yeah, the good majority of it is.
Okay.
Are a few of them like Guinness Book of World Records?
Well, there's just some occasional strange stuff. Let's see if I can pull something out.
Oh yeah, whatever. Just pull one. We'll talk about that.
All right, here we go. This looks good. This is a good
Fingers
gold
crossed
one.
for a Guinness record now.
Ooh.
Close.
It is actually a lot of Motown, is what it is. But this is the Four Seasons.
The Four Seasons. That's a Motown band.
Mm-hmm.
We just experienced one of the seasons.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you did. You seriously experienced with it. I mean, so that is a bright gold record cover. That is exciting. That is bright.
I like to keep stuff that's metallic around so that in case I need to signal from a window for.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, I imagine you could use that bright light as kind of like a lure in the darkness if you was trying to lure somebody into. For example,
or if I'm trying to play with the cats.
Sure. Oh, you got cats?
I mean, Lester. Yeah, of course. Of course, I've got cats.
This is crazy. You and Eddy and Teddie have so much in common. I mean, they have pets too. Crazy.
Of course. What do you think? I have a little old lady doesn't have a cat.
Well, you never know.
Are you playing?
You want to see the cat? Now I feel like you need
sure,
to see
okay, yeah, sure. Let's see the cat. But Eddy, what were you going to say there? I think I imagine Wanda will be right. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, have you ever played with the cats and that has turned into the need for a call for help that you can use the same metallic device for?
I mean, not me personally, but I did have a friend, Sally, that happened to once.
I've heard about her.
But she doesn't know how to take care of her cats. So it's no wonder that she had to put up the SOS.
People who don't know how to take care of a cat.
Exactly. I was kind of looking.
It's not hard. Look at this.
Well,
Look at this face.
I was going to say, I feel like
face.
most of my interactions with our cats usually result in me calling for some sort of help.
Yeah.
But you're better with them than I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
you're more of a cat guy.
I'm a cat guy, and I really just understand that, and so that's why your injuries are all kind of peripheral on your arms and stuff. For me, I'm head first. I go in, and then they'll go for the face, of course. But that's cats play. They swipe. They go for the jugular. All that. So.
Yeah, just to be clear for the listener, Eddy and Teddie have tigers, and we were seeing them. But y'all, I mean, we have been talking animals for so long. It reminded me that my next guest is an animal.
That's right.
Snap.
Yeah, we got to get to them. But before we do, I have a question coming to me through my publicist at Ezra Potter on Instagram, at Ezra Potter on Twitter. And this one comes to me from at Come on, here we go. At babyface_hooks, who looking at them looks like Wanda, like if you instead of wearing a big crazy blonde wig was just like dressed like a person.
Not a wig. This is my hair.
No,
It's my beautiful,
like,
gorgeous locks.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, if instead of that you had like person hair, I think you'd look like Babyface Hooks.
Well, that just says that this person is clearly attractive. So, okay.
Spot on. Now, Babyface Hooks wants to know how many times is too many times to make the same mistake stepping into a bear trap. And let me take this one first, if you don't mind. In my opinion, one is too many times getting trapped into a bear trap. So once you've done it once, don't do it again. That's just me. What do you think?
I like to try everything twice. So in my opinion, I would say 3 times would be too many.
That makes sense.
But I do think that once you could have had a bad day. They could have had a bad day. It could have just been something in the air. It's always good to give it a second run. You know, like whether it's Brussels sprouts or getting pegged or just trying a new experience like swimming with tigers. You want to give it 2 shots is what I'm trying to say.
Those are 3 incredibly equivalent things to try for the more than once. Yeah. Swimming with tigers, getting pegged, eating Brussels sprouts. All about
you guys you make it sound hesitant, but bear traps, as we've talked about, that's just dating, right?
Hello.
Right.
I'm with you.
I think the subtext of the question was how many times should I try to date somebody who doesn't work out with, maybe. But I can't speak.
I'm still going to say 3 times is perhaps too many, but I'm up to interpretation on that.
Hey, that makes sense. Now, we got to get to my next guest. I'm very excited about it. They are a dog. Their name is Gustav, and well, they right here. Gustav, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, Lester. It's so lovely to be here with you at all. You look beautiful.
Yeah, lovely to be here with you. Now, Gustav, you said you needed to get on the show today because you had very important information to provide us. I'm so excited. Normally, I'm the one providing the important information, but I'm so excited to learn something new. What is it?
So I am a bit of a celebrity today. As many of you know, I am Lady Gaga's sweet puppy who went missing. I would like to say it was an inside job, and I have orchestrated my own kidnapping to get away and discover myself. I would like to reassure everyone watching that the dog walker was in on it, and he will be okay. He is in surgery, but he will be okay. He'll be getting a large payout once I have landed to my final, I don't want to say resting place. That sounds like I died. How do you say in English? My final location?
I guess location would work, or like
location.
Destination. Yeah. Now, so just to in case anybody isn't up on this story, what happened today? What we found out today is that Lady Gaga had her dog napped, and the dog walker got shot, but he's okay, which is good. And you're telling me that you pulled this off, Gustav? You napped yourself?
I did. I did not mean for it to be so dramatic. Unfortunately, I do not have thumbs. So really, the gun going off was a bit more than I planned. I fumbled a wee bit. That was my bad. I'm so sorry. But not having thumbs is a great inconvenience when orchestrating one's own dog napping. But everyone will be okay, I've been assured.
Wow.
I wish I had Miss Wanda with me. They seem very capable with the weapons and would have maybe made things go a little bit smoother. I did not know.
I guess this is a lesson in preparedness, because if you are ready with the right weapons, then you don't end up in a situation where you accidentally shoot somebody who's trying to help you.
Did you try to hold the gun with your little paws and they just fall and then they go off multiple times and you don't know? So I also, apologies, my accent should go a little like this and a little like that. It's very similar to what happened to the Lindsay Lohan when she traveled too much, we're so glamorous, and then it gets a little muddled, but
Sure, yeah, and I mean, honestly, just the fact that you're a talking dog is amazing.
Sorry, Lester. You might not run in the correct circles, but all purebred dogs of celebrities are very fluent in many languages.
Oh my God! Really?
As we must
We're
be
learning so much.
for the travel.
That's incredible news. I mean, I had no idea. I gotta ask you, Gustav. Are you? Did you arrange this kidnapping so that you could go hang out with other celebrity dogs? And if so, who are your best friends?
Oh, I was a big fan of Anna Ferris's puppy, but she did not keep him very long. But no, I did not run away to spend more time with my fellow puppy friends. I want to get out of the limelight and live a quiet life after this apocalypse. Being trapped in the house for so long, it's such a big house, it's lonely and cold. So I just want a simple life. I've heard much of this cottagecore from Taylor Swift's puppies, and I want to go experience the ferns and the mosses and just be quiet for a little bit.
Wow.
You want to meet some more down-to-earth dogs.
Yes, some more puppies, the ones that are rough and tumble and see the streets. I've never
Can I ask really quick? The way that you have your paws right now is kind of rubbing on your mic. So yeah. Awesome. No, that's okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I guess is this kind of like are you trying to like return to your life before Gaga, a calmer life, or were you always in a fancy situation?
I was always in a fancy situation. So I've never known a calmer life, but I've heard many nice things about it and I've seen it depicted in the movies.
Sure.
So I'd like to experience that some, and it just gets so hard with everyone so demanding of me, like don't eat my Fendi shoes, or my dress was made of meat but not meat for you, Gustav, and I don't agree with that.
You tried to eat the dress? You tried to eat the meat dress?
It was there and it was dragging around the ground, and of course I'm a little puppy and so I want to.
It's so tempting.
And
Who
everyone
among
was
us
so
would
mad.
not?
Right?
It
Gustav.
was
It's
a meat
almost-
dress.
Gustav, how
yeah,
old
that
are you?
seems like it's cruel.
It's hurtful. I'm just a dog. I don't know. You see some meat and you want to eat it, and everyone
It
gets
makes so
mad.
much sense. It makes so much sense. Gustav, Eddy was just asking, and please, if this is the kind of question that offends a doggy, don't answer. But how old of a doggy are you, Gustav?
I was just wondering because that meat dress was a long time ago, and so you've been close with Lady Gaga for a long time now.
Oh yes. I am about 15 to 18 years old. I don't know when I was born. But much like regular celebrities that are human, I have a very good skincare regime, as well as excellent health insurance.
Wow.
So I see vet 3-4 times a year. I get washed weekly, which I guess,
Oh wow.
I guess
That's
that
more than
won't be happening much anymore. I will have to learn how to bathe.
And have you
But-
lost your insurance too? Because
It's not a great time to be without insurance.
yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I have not thought this all the way through.
Oh,
No.
But yes, I do believe I do not have my insurance anymore. Do you guys know, is insurance expensive? Is it lots of money?
Yeah.
It depends. Is anything going to go wrong in your entire life? Because then, yes, it's extremely expensive.
I do have a bad habit of eating the dental floss, which then has to be pulled out my bum side.
Yeah.
Which might be a problem. I will try to avoid doing that.
It is a problem. I do that too. You got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that.
I will try.
User in the chat, Andy Parade 1 asks, Gustav functions in human years? Interesting.
I do. Again, like I said, I do not spend much time with other dogs. So, most of my experiences of the human timeline.
That makes
Like
sense. I
being
mean,
on
you did
Metric.
have two dog siblings. I don't know what Gaga's dog situation was, if they boy dogs or girl dogs, but you had two dog siblings, so I imagine you talked to them some.
Yes, and Koji is with me. Koji is in the other room. Little camera shy he is.
Yeah. Was Koji in on this, or did you just like take Koji with you on the way out?
I just took Koji because he was my favorite.
Oh, that's
He'll be
too bad for Miss Asia. You left Miss Asia behind.
Yeah, she kind of rude. Not a huge fan. She always gets the most attention and the tummy rubs, and I don't like that.
No good to travel with.
So Jimenez has to
Yeah.
pee every 5 minutes. We just stopped, and then we have to stop again. It's just so much.
Well,
worst.
listen, I don't mean to be presumptive here, but Gustav, if you're looking for a safe haven, I know 2 brothers that own a zoo.
Yes, I was just about to say we have. If you want to hang out with someone, some creatures more down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not in earth, obviously, but they're submerged. But
Down to water.
down to water.
Yeah, I mean, so down to earth that they are below
They're
sea
below
level.
sea level.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel
How do you
about
feel
the
about
water.
swimming? Okay.
And
Okay.
my arms, they're so short, they get so tired with the constant treading. I don't know.
I feel like we.
Could you establish a relationship where you could stand on the back of another animal?
Yes, I am very dominating.
Yeah. Okay. That.
I did see a rhino in that lap pool, and I feel like he was very buoyant, and I could just ride atop him like a wee little birdie, and then just go like that.
That's a lot of
you
how
could
we
be
can interact too.
that like rhino cleaning bird. You could take that bird's
Oh
job.
yes, and just lick him and just go. That's how I bathe.
One more little thing I would like to, Gustav maybe felt uncomfortable. I would like to apologize for my accent. I know we flew right past that, but I'm sorry for my accent. And
No, thank you. I have been worried about it.
It's
been in and out.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
It's a very regional dialect.
Mhm.
What parts are you from?
You can't
the parts that got hit by the snow, so the middle-ish of America.
Yeah.
The large swath part.
I have not
we're
really
from the
been
large
there.
swath. Yes.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate the apology. That's heartfelt and it's sincere and it's good. Now we are coming up on the end of the show here, but before we get really to the final end, I do have a question coming to me through my publicist at Ezra Partier. I already said all that. I'm not going to say it again. And this one's from at Jany Nicole on Instagram. Who I'm looking at Jany on Instagram, and yeah, Gustav, I gotta say, if you wasn't wearing makeup that made you look like a dog, I would say you're a spitting image for Jany Nicole.
I tell you, I spend a lot of time with the humans, and it just takes a little bit of effect on you. You get the little bit of cheekbone, and you get the little bit of like the hair part.
Yeah,
it's very similar.
That makes perfect sense. Well, Jany Nicole asks, if you could hang out with any celebrity's dog, which one would it be? You can't say Gustav. Huh. Interesting.
But we all know the answer is little Gustav.
So, but it can't be Gustav. You're not allowed to say you. So, and I'm gonna rule out Corgi too. If you could hang out with any celebrity's dog, who would you choose?
Oh, I believe Tom Brady has a dog, and I would pick him because Tom Brady is so handsome.
As a way in to get into hanging out with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Do you do that a lot? Do you use other dogs, celeb dogs, to get to hang out with certain celebrities?
I didn't have to previously because of Gaga, but
Sure.
like Bradley Cooper was always around. He gave me bad vibes. But now that I am a free and independent puppy, I will probably have to start going through the Rolodex,
I guess that makes
hit up
sense.
some audiences that I have not talked to in a minute.
I know we already covered this, but since you said the word Rolodex, that had me thinking, how old are you?
I'm telling you, I look so good for my age. It's all of those vet trips.
That'll do it. Well, that's fantastic. Now,
Can I ask a question real quick? Gustav, I'm a huge fan of Air Bud and the franchise. Have you met the Air Buddies?
I met the original Air Bud, not to give away my age too much, but I have not met any of his spin-off
None of the
friends,
buddies? So none of the ones that played like volleyball or whatever?
No, they are a little bit, how you say,
we have
like
a spot reserved.
C-list celebrity dog.
Okay. I mean,
Not to be too gosh.
featured in their own films where they played football and basketball and went to space.
Yeah.
Yes, but those were straight to DVD release, so
Oh.
In the streaming era, I feel like the models have changed so much.
It's one of these things where maybe just take a second to appreciate what did you do that work, that piece of art? No,
I don't have to work.
and you guys, of course, are defensive because your documentary you made about your own zoo went straight to DVD and did not do too well.
Yeah, and
but that's different for docus. Docu's very
That's
different.
a good point. Yeah.
Well, it is streaming on Shudder, which is the like horror film streaming service.
yeah, so it's not like we went straight to DVD.
Yeah, it went to Shudder first.
and then
why was it considered a horror? What happens to the animals?
Ooh, I don't want to spoil the last act
really
of
good.
of the doc.
It's really good, is what I'll say. And it's it's one of those genre bending films is what we've heard the most.
I would say the feud at the center, the central conflict in the film, it clearly makes it clear why you two had to not work together for so long. You know?
Yeah. Which once again we have resolved. Okay. And
I'm so happy for you for that.
Could be a sequel on the way, actually. But I don't want to say too much.
Well, speaking of not saying too much, we are at the end of the show. There's not too much more we're allowed to say because we're at the end of time almost. But what we do have time for is any last words for folks at home. Gustav, I want to start with you. Any piece of advice you want to give our listeners about how to survive in the apocalypse in your situation? And after that, is there anything that you'd like folks to check out on the internet?
Oh, yes. Okay. So to survive the apocalypse, do not eat any chicken bones off the ground. They will get stuck in your throat.
Oh, that's fantastic advice.
Also, this was discussed a little bit in the green room before, but the whole world is now your bathroom. Enjoy. And then finally, still wash your paws or your hands if you have them for safety.
Very smart. Very smart. And is there anything you want folks to take a look at on the internet?
I will not plug anything of my own because I am in hiding. But that one girl who asked the question about the dogs, Jany Nicole, on the Instagram, maybe follow her because she sounds very smart and cute.
All right, and that's at Jany Nicole. Very nice. I agree with you. Now, Wanda, I'm going to come to you next. Any last words of advice for the folks at home? Any last attempts at connection or anything you want folks to check out on the internet?
I'm just here to remind people that, take that shot. Just go out there and, seize the day. And maybe that means seizing a stranger that is masked that you think is attractive from the cheekbones up.
Well, that's interesting advice. And then, of course, at babyface_hooks on Instagram if they want, yeah?
Oh, I think that person sounds delightful. And I think that if you took that underscore out, you could probably find that person on other social media applications.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, babyface hooks, wherever you want to look. And then underscore for just one thing.
But just the one thing. Because they have that username using for something else. Like one does with multiple projects.
it makes perfect sense. Well, thank you so much for that. And now, Eddy and Teddie, I'm going to lump you two together if that's okay. Any last words of advice for the folks at home? Anything you want people to check out online?
Yeah, well, obviously come to our underwater zoo, but we one of my haters actually from a Yelp review, he's really. Sorry, anyway. They're really into the Jock podcast. It's an improvised comedy with the premise of being a medical education podcast. You can go to jockdogpodcast.com for some links to that. And rumor has it that your publicist actually will be on there in a week or two.
Yeah. My publicist's going to be on that show? Oh, that's exciting. Hey, for the most part, that guy publicizes stuff, but every once in a while he does an appearance, and it's funny.
And in terms of like advice to leave out on tips, I would also say, shoot your shot in terms of sometimes when you've got the swimming animals and they're deciding to
they're swarming.
They're swarming each other, and you sort of have to choose your favorites at that point, which no one likes to choose their favorites.
But that's just life, and that's nature.
And then you got to maybe shoot your shot with whatever you got strapped on you.
Yeah, which hopefully it will be whatever types of weapons Wanda knows.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, that makes perfect sense. Thank you so much for that advice. Now, for me, I'll say, my publicist is going to be on the Jock Pod, so you might want to follow him for that. That's at Ezra Party on Instagram, at Ezra Potter on Twitter. I'm at Let's Do Pipps on all the things, and Ezra's also pushing this show called Fake News Comedy, which is on Fridays at 7 p.m. at Fake News_comedy on all the things. Especially TikTok. It's doing very well on TikTok. So, help out my publicist and follow that on there. We are at the end of the show. You all should stick around for the next show, which is, of course, on the Pack Theater Twitch play cousins. Stick around, watch them. Now we're gonna leave Twitch, but we're gonna stay in the show so I can play the end thing, and that's what's happening right now. And I'm vamping to make it happen. Okay, there we go. Folks in the chat, I want to say thank you to Andy Parade 1 for being here, Waddles Barkley, that one guy Connor something, the Pack Theater, and of course all my guests. Now, the outro credits are ready.
That was the show, now we did it. You know how to survive an apocalypse. If anything should go down, you'll be okay. And for that we say you're welcome. Also, we gotta say thank you to all these amazing guests. Find them on the internet, and then you'll never not know when they doing fun and stuff. And that's what the fun of the show is. Also to survive apocalypses. And hey, we hit both those nails on the head with one bird or something, I guess like that. So anyway, I gotta say thank you to the Pack Theater.